Sexuality. It's one of the most intimate parts of being human, yet it's also wrapped in mystery, misconceptions, and sometimes even shame. For years, men and women have been told different stories about what their sexuality should look like. But today, thanks to new research and changing social attitudes, we're starting to uncover real, nuanced truths about what sexuality means for both genders. And that's what we're diving into today. First, let's talk about women. There's a stereotype out there that women's sexuality is all about emotions, or that it's only on or off, depending on hormones or the right situation. But science is telling a much richer story now. Studies have shown that a woman's sexual desire is influenced by a mix of physical, emotional, and psychological factors, and this mix can change day to day. For example, how a woman feels about herself, her self-esteem, body image, stress levels, can hugely impact her sexual desire. If she's feeling anxious or disconnected, that desire might dim. But when she feels safe, valued, and emotionally connected to her partner, her sexuality tends to flourish. This means intimacy isn't just a physical act but a dynamic emotional dance. And there's more. Women's brains are wired to respond not just to visual cues, but to touch, tone of voice, and subtle social signals. This is why foreplay, communication, and trust building are so crucial in female sexuality. It's also why mental well-being plays such a big role. Stress or depression can block desire entirely. On a social level, women are also breaking free from the old purity and modesty narratives that suppressed open conversations about their sexual needs. Today's women are more openly discussing their fantasies, boundaries, and desires, and that's a major shift. This openness is helping to normalize female pleasure as something natural and important. Now, let's switch gears and talk about men. For a long time, men's sexuality was boiled down to simple stereotypes. Men are always ready, always want sex, and their desire is purely physical. But new research is showing that men's sexual experience is much more complex. Men's desire can fluctuate based on emotional connection, stress, fatigue, and even relationship satisfaction. In fact, many men feel pressure to perform or appear constantly interested, which can create anxiety and disconnect from their real feelings. The truth is, men's brains also crave emotional intimacy and respect, not just physical stimulation. Interestingly, men's brains are wired to process sexual stimuli quickly, but their emotional responses are slower and often tied to trust and safety. This means that if a man feels insecure or misunderstood, his desire may decrease, something many people don't realize. Today, more men are also opening up about their insecurities and sexual health challenges, from erectile dysfunction to performance anxiety. These conversations, once taboo, are helping men reclaim healthier, more honest sexual identities. One of the biggest breakthroughs we're seeing for both women and men is the power of communication. Talking openly about desires, fears, and boundaries can transform sexual experiences from awkward or frustrating to deeply fulfilling. But communication is more than just words. It's about learning to read your partner's nonverbal cues, checking in emotionally, and creating a safe space for honesty. This builds trust, which is the foundation for great sex. Another important point is how sexuality is fluid and can change over time. People's needs and desires evolve with life stages, experiences, and relationships. For example, someone might be very adventurous sexually in their 20s but crave deeper emotional connection in their 40s. Both are normal and valid. Understanding this fluidity helps reduce shame and guilt if your sexual feelings shift or don't match what society expects. It also encourages patience and empathy between partners navigating those changes. We also can't ignore the role technology and culture play today. Social media, dating apps, and online communities have reshaped how people explore and express their sexuality. This can be great for finding like-minded partners and learning about new perspectives, but it also brings challenges like misinformation and unrealistic expectations. That's why education and honest conversations, like the one we're having now, are more important than ever. Knowing your own body, your boundaries, and your desires is key in navigating this digital age of sexuality. So what's the big takeaway? Sexuality isn't one size fits all. For women and men alike, it's a deeply personal, evolving experience influenced by body, mind, emotions, and relationships. The secrets aren't really secrets anymore. They're about openness, respect, and connection. If you want to improve your sexual life, start with honest communication with yourself and your partner. Embrace vulnerability, explore what feels good, and don't be afraid to ask questions or seek support. That's how real intimacy grows. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secrets of sexuality, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts or questions below. Remember, sexuality is a journey, not a destination, and the best discoveries happen when we're curious and kind with ourselves and each other.